Ah, hi, hello, and welcome to the library, maybe? I don't know. I hope that you are doing very, very good today for this improvised Zatsudan stream, because I had no idea what I wanted to do today, but I wanted to stream a little bit. I'll try the fish market instead. Talking for fishing points. You're maybe welcomed in the library. Depends on, depends. Yeah, I was like, do I want to edit the video? And I was like, maybe not. Do I want to play a game? And maybe not, but maybe at some point I'll boot up one, game. I have no idea yet. I was kind of like going through all the things that I need to do today. And for some reason, I felt so lazy. I'm like, I want to do nothing. And by the way, my cat is She is alive. She is here. She's not sleeping for some reason. And why? You can put one game after you do your homework. I don't want to do my Japanese right now. I don't want to do my Japanese right now. Please. Like the textbook is really killing me, to be fair. Like I dread doing my Japanese every day. Minecraft before homework. We don't play Minecraft in this house. We don't play Minecraft on the library. It is not installed on the computer of the library. I'm sorry. I don't know. We could play. I mean, I can download like a random game. I mean, we can start playing it at some point if we feel like it. But the question is like, what game? What game are we playing? I was watching like NL's on the background. I was putting like NL's like Isaac streams, and this was fun. I was almost tempted to like install Isaac again, but I know that this is a mistake. So homework is fine as long as we don't ask for help. Exactly. I'm happy to talk about everything, but I'm not doing your homework unless you pay me for this. If you gift subs to people, I'm doing homework for you. And there it is. A quick trip for diamonds before homework. Okay, what happened? When was the last time we streamed together? This was like for the Zala podcast, so this was like Sunday. What happened since then? Not a lot of things, to be honest. Like, I've been pretty lazy in general. I've been like, oh, I don't want to spend time outside. So normally I take like more walks and I try to do more groceries outside, but like I was so lazy lately that I don't want to play that. And I don't want to do that. And also like it has been so cold. It has been so cold lately. Like we had like a drop in temperature like last week, I think. And for some reason we were like at minus, -1, -2, -3. And I was like, my body is not ready for that. Like I was trying to write at some point, like on my, do my Japanese. And it was like, oh, my hands are so numb. I cannot even like hold my pen properly. A Chinese FMV you should play. Again, those white people. I was playing those like FMVs back then, and then it became like a big thing in the West. Now everybody is playing like those Chinese FMV. I'm losing my mind. But yeah, work home. I need, chores. They need to be done at some point. Like I need to do some cleaning at some point. I have like I at the very least like I should like vacuum clean today because like there are like visible strands of hair in here. I'm a good white person because I have no idea what it's full what is it, full movie, full motion video, I don't know, but basically games where like you record things, you like record real life footage, and this is like the game. It can also be like to some extent like you can have like sprites that are done both for the backgrounds and for characters, but you need like this real life footage to put it in your game. Exactly, it's kind of like FMV, exactly. And it was a trend in like adventure games in the West for quite some time, especially in like the 90s and early 2000s. And it is making like a big rise right now in China because it's not that expensive to make. And you can like also hire, TikTok celebrities to feature in your game, in your FMV game. And this is like kind of like the trend that we are seeing for the past, let's say, 3 years if we are like stretching it. There was this, I can't remember the game, but this game that made like a lot of waves, and that was like one of the best-selling games on Steam a few years ago, and like nowadays everybody is like trying to do things like that. So exactly, the genre seemed to have died. Like you had some game like For Her, is it the name of the game? You had like Telling Lies, things like this. But yeah, the genre in the West kind of like died because it was kind of like associated to scuffed games. But in China, this is like high production value most of the time. So yeah, it's nice because I like this very much, I think. And yeah, and maybe that is not harem coded challenge. I mean, you have this very interesting game. Let me try to find it again because I sent it to Bertnot the other day. Not the other day, it has been like quite some time since I've sent that, but there is like remaster, a remake for like a game that was like very popular, that a classic in like Chinese gaming, talking about like the Second World War, and like I can't find it. And like Japanese imperialism, and they are remaking it with like FMV, and I find that like very, very interesting. Can I find the game or not? Can't remember. My cat is crazy. She's just awake, so she will be here the entire time. Sorry in advance. You know how it works. Yeah, I just can't find the game again. But yeah, it is better than the current trend of cheap 3D games in the West. Yeah, at the very least, you know, you have like actors and stuff. I think it's like quite interesting. And of course, like lately, especially in China, it's like very harem coded because like the kind of like seminal game that was released 3 years ago was kind of like a dating simulator as well. But I'm sure we'll see like very interesting things like in the future. This is anyway, you are living right now the rise of like of Chinese gaming, and I think it's like very, very interesting. No need to be sorry for 9. I mean, she should be like worried because like she's doing like a lot of like bad things, and I don't like this very much. You are a naughty girl. Nanoi. Okay. I'm on stream, so I won't be able to take care of like her you know, the things that she's doing like until afterwards, but it is what it is. 14 is just an animated FMV. What are you even talking about, Ellie? It doesn't make any sense what you are saying. But yeah, I think it's like a very interesting trend, and I look forward to see more of that. And I hope that like other countries will like get into it, because I think it's like a very nice thing to do. And also this means that we are making this is like also the revival of like pure adventure games. And as a point and click enjoyer, this is something I really, really like. Hi, Matthew. I hope that you are doing all right, and thank you for coming to the stream. If 14 was an animated FMV, it would have better story quality. It's not wrong. It's not exactly wrong. It's kind of like the good thing with like FMV, or even you can blend again FMV with like other things. But I think it like gives this very grounded aspect to games, and I think I love when games are embracing also a less fantastical aspect. You are doing amazing. It's good to hear. It's good to hear. Well, settle down in the stream. I think today we are just yapping about things. I might play something at some point. You know, boot up like a Hoyoverse game or whatever. I have no idea yet what we're doing today. But yes, and Thank you for the follow. It seems I have like the notification that we reached the goal for the followers. So yeah, I think it's also an interesting trend when you're like watching how games, and especially like AAA games, are getting like more expensive like every other day. And you have like those games that are priced like a bit more fairly because they cost less, and it's a nice trend to see because I think you can like have high quality games without like going into like crazy budget for 3D realistic models and stuff, and you can just like use your camera and record people. We have reached the 80s, so true. It's a big number. I mean, we are having a slow growth, but again, like I don't mind that much. Streaming is kind of like a secondary thingy right now, or like for followers. Not the factorial. I mean, 80 factorial is a lot. You don't want to count how much it is. But yeah, the video essay is also like progressing. I was yesterday, I was recording the sections on 14, so I have like a little bit of like 14 fishing footage, and I was like, oh, I really don't want to I really don't want to record like those things, but I had to. I was listening to the interview with that Fruity Snacks again, kind of like taking notes and cutting the video at the correct in the correct sections to put it like on the video essay. So we are still very busy in the library. When your math homework is bad and can only be brute forced and has like 80 factorial possible combinations. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. No math homework here. You are safe. Yeah, I mean, like, we're talking about physics. We're hopefully not talking about physics. Like, as much as I do enjoy like maths, this like love is not entirely shared with like. It's not that it's not shared with physics. It's that like I don't remember a lot about like physics to hold like a long conversation about it. Fishing, yeah, we are talking about fish, physics, whatever. It's funny because like I wanted like to showcase like on the video essay like all the fish in like 14, and I'm like, but nobody has done like a complete list of like the fish like don't trail included. And I was like too lazy to ask people on the Fisherman's Horizon to like take a screenshot of like every page about well, to take screenshots for me, like to kind of like do a montage or whatever. Way too much about ballistics. I guess you're not talking about like classical physics, right? We are not talking about like classical Newtonian physics in here. Physics made up mumbo jumbo math, logical and cool. Yeah. I mean, again, this is the old, the centuries old question about like, is math invented or discovered? And to be fair, like I don't care about the answer. I think it's like things go up, things go down. I don't know what you're talking about. You might be enlightened here. You might be the enlightened one. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, too fast on the auto mode. Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to talk about things I saw on like Blue Sky. I can't. Oh yeah, I saw that like a bit earlier, and I think we talk a little bit about politics in here. Our former president has finally been convicted for felony and stuff in the Big Malion case. So we are like opening a champagne bottle today because we hate our former president. Math is invented or discovered, yes. One or the other. Fish goes up, fish goes down. This is kind of like the thing with fishing, right? Math is just linguistics for acoustic people. What are you even talking about? What are you even talking about? My favorite physics is getting farther red, getting closer blue. Yeah, we are double effect enjoyers in this house. I guess you're Filipino. I am not Filipino. Can you believe? Can you guess where I come from? I think it's pretty obvious, but like it seems that like I escaped the radar this time around. That could be any country. Indonesia. Why do you think I'm from? This is so funny. No, it's not. This is so funny. This is the first time like people guessed that and really, you know, zeroed in on like countries with president convicted today. Oh no, I'm talking about France. Timbuktu. This is not even, oh my god. No, not Bangladesh. No, it's France. It's France. It's a former president. He was not president for like for like 10 years plus. Just don't say what are we doing? Like we could do like GeoGuessr, to be fair. It would be fun. I'm too lazy for that. The president of Antarctica is the worst. Yeah, surely we hate this person. Côte d'Ivoire. We already gave the answer. Stop guessing countries. Oh my god, what are you doing? They're just guessing countries. Oh my god. They never bring presents like the president of Antarctica. The president of Antarctica. You are so silly in this chat. This chat is so silly. Bolsonaro was also convicted. That has happened already. I don't know. I'm cooked. I haven't followed the thingy. Bolsonaro. Oh, okay. He has been arrested, right? He has been arrested, not convicted. They show. My prime minister got kicked out recently for stuff. Your prime minister got kicked out recently for stuff. Is it in Asia? I don't know. I'm just waiting for my prime minister to get kicked out. We have so many Asian people. This is funny. Not many, but like, you know, a good amount. I would contribute to this convo, but I don't read domestic news. She is just living in her, you know, little grotto with like mushroom. Oh, I should follow this. Kicked out recently for stuff. Was it in... Wait. Was it like Thailand or am I crazy? No. I can't remember. Like to shout out to all my fellow... Oh, it's Thailand. Oh my god. I'm so good. I'm literally so good. I knew I read something about that like on Blue Sky not too long ago. And oh my god, the memory is kicking in. I'm still locked in international, you know, news. This is good to know. Your leaders are held accountable. Don't worry about that, like Pico. Don't even worry about that. Local mushroom grotto reading international news, purely peeled. Yeah, just like open your you know, mushroom newspaper, whatever. I don't want to get political here, but Singapore's... Oh my god, you can't say things like that. I googled Swedish Prime Minister news, and the fifth article was Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson says he often turns to AI tools like ChatGPT for a second. Oh my god, this is not real. This is not real. It's so cooked. Oh my god. I mean, it's great. It's great living in 2025. We are having like a lot of fun. Oh my god. Like, and the worst thing, you know, is that like it's cooked, but like, am I surprised? And the answer is like, no. I'm, you know, surely a lot of people are doing this. Why ask ChatGPT when you can ask Ellie +2? Take me back to 66 right now. This is very funny. We talked about that on stream, no? I can't remember that. 66 is kind of like the key. Well, in France at the very least, that was like the exact year of like when France peaked in some ways. Danish Prime Minister would rather enforce an age requirement on TikTok than having better welfare. I mean, unfortunately, I think this is the case for every country right now in the world, and especially in like Western Europe. And the whole push for like, you know, age requirement and stuff, it's like, oh my god. And you know, I'm all for like, don't get your kids on the internet right now. I mean, I grew up as a kid on the internet, but like, with the state of like the internet right now, like I would not let my child on the, you know, with like on YouTube or whatever. Or TikTok, but like there are like more pressing issues than that. And you know, we know that what like age requirement, it's not, they're not doing that for children, is what I mean. Our government is spending over 50 million on our royal monarchy that already has like $80 billion worth of oil. I mean, this is the thing, right? I mean, I think like everyone on this stream has the same opinion about those things, so it is what it is. Don't sell her short. She also had, oh my god. Australia has already implemented some kid social media ban. No, it's already the case in like other places, right? Like in the UK, you need like to register for like a lot of different things. Oh, short, not shoot, short. The Danish PM. Yeah, it is. It's really something, you know. We are living in weird times. Like I've seen that like a game that is talking about. I don't exactly know what it is. It seems to be a game about psychological, not horror per se, because let's say psychological horror, and it has like a social discourse. And the game has a character naked, because it's also dealing with, I think, some kind of like interpersonal, you know, sexual abuse. And I've seen that the game has been banned on like Steam when there's nothing sexual about it. It's just people naked. And Steam banned it like for no reason, basically. And we're living in this era of like censorship and stuff, and it's like quite it's quite worrying. I mean, if you follow also like Japanese politics, you have seen that the new prime minister has been very scathing when it comes to China, saying that like she wants to reinforce like the Japanese defense on the, you know, southwestern part of the country, and they want to also have a closer military collaboration with like Taiwan in case of like Chinese attacks. And it's like, you know, we think whatever we think about the situation and the whole rise of like China's military in the Pacific, but also we live in a moment of like where peace is getting like further and further away, right? You see the whole like Ukrainian situation with like Washington pushing for like some sort of like basically surrender. Let's call it what it is. Surrender to Russia, and it's like, what are we even doing like in this world? It's kind of like yeah, interesting situation. The military spending thing. The payment processor mom versus cool and base art enjoyer rebel teenager +2, to be fair. You're kind of base for that. I mean, military spending, this is like a difficult question. I kind of like... It's a bit too difficult to talk about that on stream, I think. Like, this is not the place. I mean, I know we can have like very nuanced and like precise opinions in here, but also I don't think like we can go on a, you know, 1 hour rant about like what do we think about military spending in like Europe right now. I mean, war is profitable and it's complicated. It's complicated, but yeah, obviously, like, you know, on to not like dwell too long on this conversation, we obviously want Ukraine to maintain its independence and like any kind of like surrender that is, you know, something similar to what like the US are pushing for right now. But this is like properly unacceptable, obviously. Although Ukraine is in a very weird position right now, both with like the winter coming and also with like the corruption allegations against members of the Zelensky cabinet. And it's a very weird position to be into, to be fair. So we'll see how they navigate those things, but like, yeah. For myself, I'm actually considering the foreign legion that they have. Yeah, I mean, you know, I can understand that. It's like, I think everybody is doing that. You know, we have our stance as an individual level, but it's hard, and especially like on such you know, I'm just streaming on the internet, and I don't want to give like opinions on stuff. Talking about like giving opinions on stuff, I've seen that, like Bernard sent me that, my best friend sent me that, and he sent me like a picture of like Hasanabi, right? Posing next to like wax figure of like Xi Jinping, and I'm like, what is this man even doing? You know, I don't follow. Okay, I don't want to like start beef with like, you know, with my, you know, 80 followers. I don't want to, you know, start like talking badly about like Hasanabi or whatever, but I wasn't aware that like Hasanabi had like such an obsession for like China. Like, he is very, 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 very positive about China and like the CCP to a degree that like I feel uncomfortable, because like, you know, you have like your opinions for yourself. I think it's great, but like Hasanabi is kind of like one of the representatives of like the left for a lot of people on the internet, and young people also. And it's like you cannot pose and kind of like do passive propaganda for the CCP, I think. You can't just pose next to like a wax figure of like Xi Jinping and send that like in the internet and be happy with yourself when you're followed by like so many people, in my opinion. And so I kind of like took a look on like what he thinks about like China, because I was kind of like surprised of like this picture, and I wasn't expecting him to be like such a proponent of like the CCP policies. Like, I'm the first to say that like there are interesting things in China and in terms of like urban development and stuff. Like the fact that they are, for example, able to build like railways through the entire country to a point where it becomes like almost the most affordable options nowadays to cross the country. I think it's great, but like you can't do things like this. Like you can't just glaze the CCP and not talk about like the negative effects, right? It's like kind of like crazy to me. I can't believe that this is our most well-known left-wing influencer. I genuinely am like a bit uncomfortable with that, to be fair. being observed with China is okie dokie. Being observed with the CCP, we're doing that. It's like you say that as a joke, but I think it's like it is like a little bit crazy, right? Like I think getting interested in like China and Chinese culture, I think it's great because obviously nothing is like completely bad and nothing is like completely excellent. But like getting like interested in like Chinese society and culture is like different than like, you know, taking literally like the talking points of like the CCP and kind of like glazing them for like 5 minutes straight without like even you know, raising the, I don't know, the Uyghur situation, for example, or just like the fact that it's like social profiling and that, you know, you have like issues with like feminism and not feminism, but like with like the place of women in Chinese society or LGBT people. It's like it feels like a little bit crazy to me, but also like, am I expecting anything of like Hassan Abi? Not really, you know. I mean, Hassan is still American. We should not get great man theory and we should not. Yeah. Oh, comma. We should not great man theory and he leftist either. Like completely. Crazy thing is most of my Chinese friends are anti-CCP, and even though they came from China and lived in Thailand for a while. But I think it's also the thing. It's like you know. Again, it's like your perspective as an individual, like it can be like a little bit different than like what you think on a global scale. Like, I don't think like living, you know, day to day in China, this is like the worst thing of all time. There are things to improve in China, obviously, but like I can see why people would be like, you know, happy with the, you know, CCP funding, you know, poverty relief packages for the countryside and things like that. And also because this is the only party in power, it's easy to fall into like I am kind of like CCP peeled, but being that way as someone that lived in the country is very different from, you know, being a foreigner and kind of like getting into like this discourse very, you know, I don't know, carelessly. It's crazy that LGBT is kind of accepted in China. I think it's like, of course, you have like a difference of like what is the discourse and like the you know, in the CCP policies, and then you have like what really happens like on the ground, right? I mean, if you have like more LGBT cities in China, but every city in China has like its LGBT community. It's just that like the places where you can hang out with people are like more or less hidden. And I think it's the case in every country. It's so easy, especially as Westerners, to be like, oh, I think like in Asia, people are like so, you know, archaic when it comes to LGBT rights or when it comes to like feminism and stuff. And it's like, obviously not, it's not true. Like people are doing work on the ground. Like you have like LGBT people, you have like activist women like in Asian countries, and they are doing like a lot of good work. And I think it's like a situation of like, you need to make the difference between like what like the official policies are and what people are doing like effectively day to day. And you will see that like obviously LGBT people are everywhere. And hi, Mine. Or Mine, I don't know how you pronounce that. I hope that you are doing very well. We should just go to Gaidu and Vibe +2. Chengdu moment. Massive countries like the US, China, Russia, etc. kind of scare me. Not like any government is weak, but the passive power they have is spooky. Sometimes it's nice to have an incompetent government. Okay, I mean, kind of talked to that too. So, oh my god, this is a very political conversation that we have right now. This is not exactly the direction I wanted for the Zatsudan, but you know what? I guess it is what it is. I was talking about that with some people about the US and how like you need to follow like US politics even if you're not American, because they will shape also the politics in your country. and be it like policies made by the executive power, or things like the decisions of like the Supreme Court. And I think this is like a very weird thing that we have like to get like interested into those things. I think it's like less the case with Russia nowadays, obviously, because this is like let's be real, this is a second tier country nowadays compared to China, compared to like, you know, India. But yeah, it's dangerous. And I think it's like, it feels like the world is kind of like a dangerous place to be. Like you see some countries and you ask yourself, will they be there in like 5 years? And we just don't know. China is communist. Wouldn't an ideology based of equality accept LGBT people? Well, China is not communist. China is not communist. It's like how to say that like without going too deep. So we had like this transition like from, you know, the Mao Zedong period to like what we have nowadays in China. And China is a capitalistic thing right now, but is still rooted in like some kind of like socialist ideals. So you have certain, yeah, I mean, the official policy is like communism, right? But obviously there's like what we say to kind of like be like China versus like the rest of the world versus the West, and there's what is actually like in place. So you have like social policies and socialist policies in China, especially when it comes to like poverty alleviation policies. But this is also a country that like is okay with like billionaires, right? And this is why this is not a communist country. This is like a blend of like capitalism and, you know, socialist policies that were implanted like decades ago, similar to what you had in certain places in the Soviet era when you had like the defrost, right? During the, how is it called, glasnost? So the situation with LGBT people is that like China, for reasons, is really like preaching the Confucian, like a sort of like neo-Confucian like ideology where it's still, you know, the nuclear family with like mom and dad and like filial piety. So in this particular thing, the place of woman, it's like the place of woman and LGBT people is a bit weird because it kind of like conflicts a little bit about this like neo-Confucian ideology. But in practice, like they are not exactly, you know, against it. They will take actions to on some things. For example, like there had been a crackdown on women writing like fan fiction in China. And thank you for the stretch check. Oh, thank you. You had like very specific crackdowns, but like if in said, you know, city like you are gay and you're just like minding your business, people will be okay. And it's kind of so the thing with like, also the music is a bit loud for some reason. That's why Chengdu is more open now. Yes, exactly. That's one of the reasons. Yes. Like the you have local communities that are doing work, and you always have this tension between like local policies and like what the national policies are. And I think it's very important. That's why like in Japan, you have like a lot of LGBT people, and most people are welcoming towards like LGBT people. If you're like in Chengdu and like you are holding hands with like your partner, for example, as like a gay person, most people will be like, okay, it's cute, you know, it's like it's okay. We don't really care about those things. And it's kind of like the situation where you are in China. It's like, and in Japan, and I think it's also the case in like Southeast Asia, like we talked about Thailand, where we see like a lot of wins for like the LGBT community in like Southeast Asia, and I think it's great. It's like what we see in terms of like official policies is always a bit different from like what is accepted in practice, and what people also like, what normal people are accepting. And I think this is like it's always very interesting to study like LGBT movements and also the reception of those movements by like politicians, the politics sphere. Am I gay or bi? I love women and I'm gay, yes. Chongqing based province. I mean, again, like China, I think is like, is way more complex than what people think it is. There is this very nice blog to read. If you're like interested, I will share that on chat. If you're interested in like China, a little bit more on the like academic side, but also like it's mostly translations of like Chinese thinkers. You have this excellent site called Reading the China Dream that kind of like help creating this a more like nuanced vision of like China. Women are real? No, they are not. We're on the internet, we're not real. Also, my China geography is rusty, it seems. I mean, if you know, like, from the top of your head, all the provinces in China, you are crazy. I don't. I know most of the famous ones, but like, yeah. Only on the internet. No, this is like the opposite. Women do not exist on the internet. What are you talking about? But yeah, that's basically it on the China thingy, unless like you want to talk more about that. I'm still on, writing on like 14, obviously, but yeah. What are women? It feels like a very loaded question, like in 2025 nowadays, to be fair. I mean, the answer is very simple. What are women? Well, people that say they're women, and it doesn't go beyond that. And I think it's great. Yeah. Okay, let me check like Blue Sky. Let me check Blue Sky. Oops, to kind of like see if I have like other. Again, we are fishing for talking points. It's kind of like the bit of today because I came with like nothing. Yeah, we talked about that. What is this? I don't want to talk about the US today. I don't want to talk about you. No. Okay, let's talk about that. We did not talk about like Mamdani and Trump, right? We did not talk about like Mamdani and Trump. I think it was like one of the most surreal things I've ever seen in my life. I was like astonished. Like seeing how Trump was glazing Mamdani was insane. I mean, I'm not surprised because we already know that like that Trump just likes charismatic people, and he's always very deferential to like celebrities and stuff. And Mamdani is a celebrity right now, but I was not expecting like the picture of like Mamdani in front of like the painting of like Franklin. Alone. It's like, it's crazy. Miyabi being ableist implying that mute women are not women. You can type that. Or write it on a sheet of paper. It's okay. But yeah, like that was like a funny thing to see. You can tell me, you can call me a fascist, it's fine. I mean, it's crazy, right? It's like, I was like, what are we even seeing right now? Even like Mamdani was like, I don't know what is happening. I don't know. I just don't know. I feel like we, you know, if you have told me that like 10 years ago, that like it would be, wait, 10 years ago? Oh my God, 10 years ago was like the first Trump term. What the heck is happening? Almost. What do you mean 10 years ago? Time is flying. If you told me that like, let's say 30 years ago, I would not have believed you. I would not have believed that like this is what politics would be nowadays. The whole Trump Mamdani feels also a bit too great man theoried. I mean, my take on that like is like, the important thing is like, it is confirming something we always knew about Trump. He has no ideology except himself. And then the second thing is like, what he's saying right now, he will backpedal like in, you know, 3 months and call like Mamdani the worst things of all time. So we shouldn't really care like much about this. But it was still like very strange to see like in you know, when it happened. 30 years ago, I was not here. Why are you so calm? About what? So calm about what? I wasn't here 40 years ago either. My chat is just composed of like young people. Imagine not being here like 40 years ago. You would have been born in a better time, to be fair. You're way too calm. Am I? This is just the way I am. This is just the way I am on stream. I mean, I remember when I think we did like a working stream at some point, and somebody, I think it was the developer of like Irene, right? That was in the chat and said like, oh, you're like very well behaved and calm for like, you know, being able to focus on work and stuff. And I was like, I'm just myself. And I feel like right now I'm quite agitated because like we're talking about politics. Like I don't think I'm very calm right now. So this is very funny. On the inside, she was not calm at all. Am I really calm? Is this the vibe that I'm giving? I mean, you know, I'm trying to give like those vibes, but like, I don't know. This is just who I am, I guess. Yeah, you rage and hellfire and stuff. I try not to be that on the internet. It's like, you have like so many people that are like that already. So like, you don't exactly need me like to, you know, rage and stuff to find like this type of content. I want to give you like a little space for, you know, 2 hours where we can just be nice. We can just like, we can talk about like serious things, but I don't want to shout. I don't want to do anything like this. I want you to be able to put the stream like on the, you know, on your second monitor or whatever, and just enjoy the thing. It's just your voice not being that energetic. Oh my God, I'm trying to. I'm trying to. This is surprising to me that like you're saying that, but you know, people say that I'm quite centered, balanced, and I feel like that, but like a pole being pulled towards like 20 different directions that looked balanced from a distance. Oh, you don't have a streamer voice. Oh no, like this is voluntary though. This is voluntary to not have the streamer voice, to be fair, because I think like it is kind of like unique to some extent to kind of like try to be a bit milder. I could try to, no, I mean, I could be more streamer, you know, coded, but I think it's like, what for? To be like exactly like the same person as like everybody else on the internet? I mean, I don't know. Like, if people do not like this per se, I think it's like, well, this is our loss, respectively. But like you don't need to watch me. Oh, this is like a crazy timeout. You went like for the craziest timeout of all time. This was like you are going a bit too hard. Like I think this was like not needed that hard. Like can someone like untime, you know? It's like it's the first time like they ask this. It's like not this doesn't warrant like a timeout for like the eternity. Oh my god, you're going too hard, Siggy. I will remove your sword. How long is it? Because I see in second, but like how long is it? Is it like 1 week of timeout? This is like a bit too much. The timeout you was, I mean, she just like swung her sword a bit too hard. Don't worry about it. Can someone untime out like Mine? I think like we could have solved the situation, you know. Like if you're here, Mine, if you're here, Mine, just this is okay. You're fine. Like I don't answer those type of questions because like this is my private life and I don't want to talk about them. I mean about, you know, about this, but like yeah, please let's not ask those questions. I'm happy to talk about like things, but you survived. It was a bit weird, but yeah, let's, you know, let's not talk about like private things, be it like private things of me, but also private things of you. Like don't talk too much about yourself on the internet. You don't know, you know. Don't trust me. I could do like crazy things with like the information you're giving like on the internet. But yeah, that was so funny. Like I saw the message, I was like, I'll try to like answer that, you know, in a nice and polite way and formal way. And Siggy like just swung the sword like so hard for, you know, a timeout of like 1 day and 8 hours. It's like, what is she doing? My night is going too hard. I remember the first time I said something bad. What was, I can't remember what it was like, where you got timeout, Ellie. I can't remember. Why you timeout, Siggy? It's okay. Mistake happens. We are, you know, we are trying to be friends here. Time to go NL coded and grab a random chatter and go crazy strawman. I mean, you don't grab like a random chatter, right? Don't do this because you're deleting the message of like when you're timing out somebody, like the messages are being deleted. I cannot read them. Oh, I don't hear. Can you hear? Okay, there's no more so I can't hear it. But like, I mean, I think this is like the end goal. The end goal of like the end goal of like Sigrid is to purge the entire chat of, you know, of messages. Oh my god. I know what I'll be doing when I stream. Just don't time out everyone. Then you will stream alone. And streaming alone, you know, it's like it's not fun. You know, like I'm at a point where I rely a lot on chat, like to do conversation and stuff, and like streaming, like especially when you do not play games. Like I can only do Zatsudan nowadays because we have people in chat. But imagine doing like Zatsudan alone. This is crazy. This will be the end of my timing out for now. I will need to remove your sword if you use it as a toy. Just a dog stream. Oh my god. I don't know what I wanted to talk about then. I completely lost like my train of thoughts. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. Don't time out everyone. Don't time in everyone. Do time travel everyone. It's true, right? Just talk to like you put your previous chat. Take like you go into your VODs. You put like your previous chat and you roll that chat like in front of you while you're streaming and you answer like to this chat in the past. And you have the same conversation every day. Was that a taste of the infamous Dragon Quest inspired Siggy? Yeah, this was like far right Siggy coded, to be fair. crazy. But yeah, like Zatsudan, I think I'm happy that we can do like Zatsudan nowadays. Because we have enough people in chat to like sustain conversation for like 2 hours. But that was not possible back then. This was like a bit crazy to. If I did like Zatsudan, I don't know, 6 months ago, this would have been like the saddest experience on Earth. But we're getting there, so you know, it's all fun. I was talking with some people like just a bit earlier about do you have multiple VTuber avatars? I mean, this is my 2.0. I had like my previous model, but like I don't use it anymore because I mean, I just have like a better model now, but it was a PNG model back then. We used it for quite some time. The new model is like was for my anniversary basically, my birthday. So it was like 2 months and a half ago. Zatsu is empty. To empty chat is radio host experience. True. Like if you come with like talking points, you can do it. But I'm too lazy, you know, to prepare like talking points for like 2 hours. It's like, and I don't have like enough crazy things happening in my daily life to do like a 2 hours Zatsudan like this. You could just do Rakugo Zatsudan on your own. This is true. I need to work on like my Rakugo skills, to be fair. Are you a tuber? What are you talking about, Ellie? What are you talking about, Ellie? Maybe just change his skin every year. Like a fox, right? You shed your fur. Sweet potato. VTuber is just a virtual potato. We just don't know what like you do. Thank God we don't have like the potato peeled people in chat right now. I know like some people are deep into potato discourse and they love talking about like how potato is like such a great thing in the world. What's your favorite image? My favorite image of all things? My favorite painting? I mean, you know what my favorite painting is like on this in this server, no? Like I think I've made it pretty clear in the past. My favorite image, what does that mean? Can I have like a picture of my favorite painting, please? I felt a little bit like feverish yesterday also. So we trust by the way, /Jen. We won't do like a long stream just because like I was a little bit feverish yesterday and I think it's a good thing for me to rest actually. But you know, like it is what it is. What are you sending? What is this file you're sending? Oh, this is just a random thing. Okay, I was worried like it was a real link. We are speed dating you, Miyabi. Answer correctly and we might call you back in a week. I mean, okay, my favorite painting, my favorite image is like the fighting Tamara. We talked about it. That was literally like a stream. That was a lecture that we did. Can you remember it? On Turner. Oh. I don't know where the images disappeared. I guess we'll never know. Yeah, we'll never know. I can't manage to. Oh my god, why can't I manage to put this picture like on the? Give me 2 seconds. Temp. There, you go there. And from here, I put you there. And this is my favorite picture, but you know that already. Can you describe all your chatters in one word? Okay, Ellie Ziggurat. Sigrid, cat. Rani, soup. And that's basically it for the people here, right? We don't have like sky. It's that one painter, it's Turner. Oh my god. I mean, kind of like the vibe of this chat is people are a bit crazy. I think like they're crazier than me. Pico is here. True. I mean, Pico is like I think Pico is music, because like every time we have like in-depth conversation with like Pico, it's mostly related to music. Because they play, I can't remember. I think Pico plays tuba, or I'm mistaking the instruments. I can't remember. From the stream from 10 years ago. Can you remember that? When was this stream? I think it was, yeah, it has been, I don't know, probably 8 months, something like that. I would love to play tuba. So what do you play already? I forgot. I'm sorry. I should know better, but I know you love like winds and brass, but I just can't remember what instrument you're playing exactly. What are you talking about, Ellie? You need to stop, Ellie. What is she talking about? Oh, okay. Every brass, but tuba, you can't afford it. I see. So of all like the instruments I could have chosen, I chose the one you are not playing. This is very funny. Good at tuba, I don't know. We should not let Ellie speak. She's like a virus, like infecting everybody's brain with her, you know, brain rot. So insane. But yeah, this is we are trying to be a pretty, I mean, you say that was calm. I think like, you know, as much as my chat can be chaotic sometimes, I think we try to be nice. We try to have like actual conversations when they try to communicate with me. And this has been a treat having them, you know, for the past almost a year. We've been streaming together for like a month now. 10 months, I mean. So it has been a nice run. And you are nice. No, you are always nice. You're always nice. Discipline, this is like another question, but yeah. Ellie doesn't try to communicate. She makes noise. She makes noises, but we just don't know what it means. Like, yeah, I mean, soon we will have to talk about like the anniversary and stuff, but like, you know, we still have like 2 months to think about this. It's so annoying because like I have so many things like to do in the next 2 months, and I just don't know how, you know, things will kind of like evolve between the video essay and everything else. So yeah, only alpha radiation. I kind of wanted also to speaking like of that to some extent, I wanted to like hang out with like more people that are doing like scientific vulgarization and stuff, but like it's quite hard to find like those people, to be fair, and then try to it's not that it's hard, it's that I'm too lazy to do like networking, to be fair. You have a proposal for anniversary. Okay, thank you for you know, precising that this is for anniversary. You should put everyone in server VC and you type with us. Oh wait, so like I'm putting you, like you're the streamers, you are the streamers, and like I'm not here, I'm like in chat. Is it what you mean? So like I'm muted and I'm the chatter. This could be fun. This could be fun. This is I love the reversal thingy, kind of like a Roman or Greek like myth of like reversal. So yeah, why not? Why not? I mean, I do try. I try to chat in like other people's chat, but like not like a lot lately because I'm too busy with like video essay and stuff, and I don't have the energy to hang out in people's chat. But yeah, Miyabi chatter is real. We can do that. We can do that. That can be fun for like a little while. Although we need to plan that if we want to have like a lot of people coming, but coming into voice chat. I don't know when exactly it will be, to be fair. Like there will be anniversary, but like, will it be like on the day of the anniversary, or will we do like a sort of like marathon over like a week after? I don't exactly know how it will be. That just sounds like mahjong hell. I mean, there will be mahjong for anniversary. Unfortunately for me, there will be mahjong for anniversary. I think it's a good idea. I think we should do karaoke. Karaoke is fun, and I believe that like it's a fun activity to do. I was in Ricci. I want to do like different things for anniversary, but we need to. You had a mahjong question. Yes, I am listening. Thank you for the hydration check. Know that people just don't know what to spend their points on because we don't have like the WoW redeem. I had to play a mahjong game in a Chinese game and I was forced to discard a tile set. Thank you for the headpads. By tile set, you mean like a triplet of tiles? What do you mean by tile set exactly? Don't do a hydration check just after a hydration check. You know, I don't have like unlimited space in my stomach. Only 2 suits to win. Like no bamboo or no characters. You have local rules. No, it's not a common rule. At least I don't play with those. So I guess like it's kind of like I guess it's a local rule or something like that, but no, were you playing with like 3 other people? I don't know. I'm sorry, I just don't have like I don't have any answer for you on precise answer here. Like I've never played with rules like this, but again I know that like I'm playing mahjong with like things that are already local rules, so I don't, you know. At the start of the game, you announce a suit and say, I will play with no bamboo. Thank you. Although I think I've heard about that. I heard about that, but this is really like a local rule, I think. What's my favorite Twitch emote? Oh, first of all, like I'm not like a Twitch enjoyer. I stream on Twitch because it's convenient, but not because I like it. So I think like the base emote of like Twitch are kind of like very uninteresting. I just don't like them a lot. Yeah, I just don't like them. You have like some interesting like emotes on like better TV, but like they just don't fit my aesthetic is what I mean. Like you don't have like cute emotes in my opinion. So I wouldn't be able to answer you like probably no, nothing is fitting like the way I type, so and the emotes that I'm using on Discord, so I just cannot like answer you. You have Pink Mercy, but like it doesn't mean anything. Just type like I can't. Sorry. Oh my god, what is? some kind of like dust in the air. Really interesting thing, Twitch is probably my favorite platform. I mean, I can understand why it's the case. I think like because I don't watch like streamers on like Twitch normally, I really come from like too much hydration probably. I mostly watch like streamers on like YouTube, be it like through VODs or like through you know, big VTubers that are streaming on like on YouTube. And I just find the platform a little bit more convenient for me. Don't redeem hydration checks again and again. But yeah, coming back to Twitch is like a little bit weird for me, I think. Especially like when I was a bit younger in France, we had like Dailymotion and people were streaming a lot through Dailymotion. So I am familiar with like Twitch culture, but I never really enjoyed like the way it is used basically. So it is what it is. Soapbox is my favorite platform. If maybe it drinks enough, she cannot stream. Is this like the plan? You're trying to make me drink like so much that like I stop the stream because I need to go to the toilet and stuff? You're a bit crazy in this chat. But I guess I can understand the appeal of like Twitch if you watch a lot of streamers on Twitch. I just do not exactly personally, and it is what it is. Also because I follow like a lot of, you know, Japanese people, and they don't necessarily stream that much like on Twitch, to be fair. If it did streaming and it mined and allowed foreigners, Nico video, yeah, true. I think it's the same thing like, I mean, streaming on lag, Bilibili seems a bit crazy, but you know. It's just, yeah, it's just a matter of like culture and habits on the different platforms. I don't vibe too much with either the Twitch culture. I think it's like a little bit too... I'm not saying like the raid culture is bad, but like the way it is shaped is kind of like not exactly fitting what I enjoy personally. Like I know that this is very customary and this is what you need to do for growth, to be honest, to raid people, kind of like often different people your size, people like bigger than you, trying to network through raiding and stuff, and kind of like get there at some point, like you know, riding on people's success to some extent. And I'm like, I just don't like doing this because, as we kind of like just talked, I try to have like a very specific vibe on my stream. It's, you know, kind of like on the milder, on the calmer side. And I want to be sure that like the people I'm raiding are kind of like fitting this particular vibe. But this is not something that you can do like on the fly, right? You need to watch them. You need to talk in their chat to make sure that like, you know, they're nice people. And I think it was the case with like May, and kind of like the people that are, you know, gravitating around May in general. I think it's, you know, we have like Pico in here, and I think like Pico is a great person. So if you do not follow Pico already, feel free to, you know, give them like a follow and to watch their stream if you feel like doing so. We had like other, you know, streamers that like are nice people, and that I kind of like vetted, or were vetted by other people like on the long term. And those are people that I feel comfortable like in raiding because they fit the atmosphere also of my stream. And, you know, they are not like people who like who are like even remotely, you know, offensive or just swear a lot, I kind of like people that are kind of like family friendly to some extent. You don't have to be family friendly for me to raid you, but like I appreciate the more grounded streams. And this is really not Twitch culture to do that, I think, to kind of like take your time to know people and stuff. And especially in the VTuber community, and I feel like a little bit like uncomfortable sometimes raiding people that like I just don't know, and you don't know if like, you know, 10 minutes into their streams after your raid they start to say some like crazy things. It's like, uh-oh, maybe that was a mistake. And that's why like most of the time I'm not raiding people, which is not good for growth, but at the same time it like kind of like free me from the hassle of having to worry about like the content of those particular people. But yeah, it means that like if I raid you, if I have ever raided you, it means that like I respect you a lot, and I think like you're extremely cool and you're a nice person, which like for me is the most important thing. Beyond, you know, chaotic stuff and all, I know also like I'm not doing enough networking, I'm not doing enough like collabs and stuff, but this is what it is. I want to do like more things in the future, but again, the video essay is taking like so much time, and every time we have like a streaming day, I feel so exhausted. Like you cannot imagine how, I mean, if you stream, you know how tiring it is to just like talk and entertain chat, even if it's like really fun. But like I'm still an introvert, you know, at heart. And yeah, I was kind of like talking about that like a little bit before about with like a friend, and we were like, oh, you know, you don't exactly give like introvert like vibes. Talking to you, like it doesn't seem like you don't sound like an introvert person. And we kind of like both thought that about each other, and it's like, yeah, but because we feel comfortable around each other. But sometimes like even if you're trying your best to like be comfortable and to, you know, entertain people, and you still have like a lot of fun, it's still like, you know, 2-3 hours of like just talking, and after that you're like so tired. And we are in this situation where like, so today we are streaming, and I think it's like a pretty relaxing stream because like I just have to talk, I don't have to play something at the same time. It is very easy to do, but I also need to use my social battery for this. Even if I love chat, even if I do enjoy speaking with you and stuff, I'm kind of like a little bit self-aware about like what I'm saying, and I'm trying to like restrain myself to some extent. And it's like a little bit taxing in terms of like mental energy. And so we will stop the stream at some point, and I will be like, oh yeah, this was like fun. And normally you would be like, yeah, let's rest a little bit or do things like this, you know, nice and easy activities for you to cool down. But it's like, I need after this stream to like do my Japanese, I need to like edit the video, I need to prep things and stuff. If like, but this will not be the case, but like if I was not tired, I would also do some sort of like light research, prep also the script for the next video. It's just like so much work, and I just don't know how to fit that in like a day where I'm also streaming. Wanting to talk but not having the energy to talk. I mean, most of the time I push myself. Like I know that like I'm the type of introvert who is like, I'm struggling with like my energy, but like I can push, and I can play pretend. Like I can just like gain energy from literally nowhere, but I know it's like really pulling on the rope, and I will pay that a bit later. But I'm rarely the type of person who is like, oh, I'm going completely nonverbal and I just cannot speak to people. I will always be able to do some conversation. I will always be able to entertain people, but it's just like a little bit taxing at time. Convincing myself I have the energy to talk, this is kind of the thing. But this is what I had to do for work back then. It's like, I was like in a job that was like very, you know, half of it was like very social field. So you had to talk like to a lot of people and do like, you know, conversation and small talk and stuff. And it's like, and because of like time zone issues, sometimes I had to do that like very late in the night. And it's like, oh, I don't have enough energy for this, but this is for, you know, this is your job. You don't have a choice. You don't decide like that you can't be like, oh, I have this meeting, but like I don't have any energy. So I let's not talk. If you have like meetings where you can just like be passive and just like be in the background and then you zone out, I think it's like good. But when you are actually like a key player of the meeting, you need to get the energy no matter what. And because I don't drink like energy drinks or whatever, my way of like pushing through those things were just like, just do it. Just do it. Like you don't have a choice. You just lock in and it's painful and it's terrible. And it's like so tiring, but like you just do it. And this is like a habit I kind of like conserved, or like the habit that remained when like I, you know, stopped working on this job, and I still handle like my social relationships like this. Like so many people like sending me messages and stuff wanting to talk with me, and it's like I don't have the energy. But you know, since you made the effort of like talking to me, I guess I'll just push through and try to lock in a little bit. There are days where like I just can't do this because I'm just too tired and too busy. But most of the time, yeah, I'm the type of like introvert person to like find weird resources to push through social relationship more than like I would like to. Which is very in line with the whole like Miyabi is like overworked and kind of like in a masochistic relationship with herself, I guess. I love bringing myself some you know, amount of pain. This is how I feel alive, probably, question mark. But yeah, and I do like, you know, I'm very like impressed by people who actually or actually extrovert people and that gain energy by being like in social relationships and all. Like this is like this feels like dark magic for me. And also speaking of that, I think it's also like introvert people, yes, we lose energy when we're talking to people, but I think like in some context, if you really like the crowd you're in, I think you can really just like gain energy around certain people. Yeah, I stopped drinking coffee years ago. I know I only get energy through pain. This is kind of like the thing in, you know, I just love pushing myself a little bit. It's like, oh, it hurts, but like, you know, you feel alive. So I try to do that less, to be fair. Like the last few days, I've been taking care of myself. I've been like taking breaks. I've been like stopping work. I stopped to work when I felt like I was tired, when I would normally push through. So, you know, we do what we can. I try to do my best and I'm slowly getting there. It doesn't give me like enough time to play games though. I wish I could, but it's a start at the very least. I don't know why we have like, I don't know when it entered in the house like this fly. It's so annoying. But how are you going to sleep if you can't drink coffee? What are you talking about? How are you going to are you going to get sleep if you can't drink coffee? What are you talking about, Ellie? We just don't know what she's talking about. But we had this discussion already now, like I mean, I don't drink coffee. I drink tea, but the content of like, you know, caffeine in tea is like so small, unless it's like, you know, some sort of like high caffeinated like matcha, that like it doesn't really matter. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink energy drinks. I think like I had this discussion also with friends, and it's like I could start to drink it, and I think it would give me like a boost of energy, but also I don't want this to be my new baseline. I kind of like want my energy levels to stay at a natural level and not getting dependent, quote unquote, on like external like products to stay like awake. Not that they are necessarily bad. I think, you know, if you just drink like 2 coffees per day, you're probably all right. But I just don't want to even start doing this. Like, I like, you know, the idea of like not using crutch in my life. Like, I already have like, you know, a good amount of medication, and if I can avoid like taking things like on top, I think it's nice. But coffee tasty, I mean, I trust you, you know, I'm around like coffee lovers, and I think like this is great, and I believe them when they say this is great, and they love like grinding their own coffee and stuff. And also I have the same obsession with tea, so I understand. But like for me, like if you drink coffee, it's like both for the taste and like the energy probably. And I'm like, the potential enjoyment I would have like from the taste isn't great enough for me like to start drinking coffee and get into it for, you know, also energy reason. Coffee tasty, but like setting yourself up for a headache without it. Yeah, that's kind of like the thing. And again, I don't think you're doing anything bad by being like, okay, my new baseline is like drinking 1 or 2 coffee cups per day. But I'm also enjoying the fact that I can go through my day without anything. I'm really, really the type of person being like, oh, you're tired, then just lock in. You're tired, you can focus. No, you can focus. You can actually focus, just do it. But this is me, and like you know, you do whatever you want in your life. Being too lazy to go buy more coffee was amazing. Then I got gifted some coffee, and now I'm back to addiction. I mean, it's Ellie doing Ellie things, so +2, I guess. Surely I only drink 1 or 2 cups per day. Yeah, exactly. You know, this is like a slippery slope, and then you drink like 10 cups per day, and it's like you're cooked. This is what it is. Like, to be fair, like tea is really not doing anything on me body-wise, like on a pure metabolic standpoint. So I only drink tea because like I want to taste something good, and also because like I want something warm in my hands. But like I don't drink like a lot of tea, to be fair. I drink like, I don't know, if I'm pushing it, I drink like half a liter of tea. But that's already like pushing. That's like 2 teacups. Not teacups, but like 2. I mean, I have like a teapot, basically a personal teapot. And I try to stay at like 1 teapot, small teapot per day. Sometimes I'm pushing like 2 teapots when I'm really, really working on stuff, and I need something to drink. Again, not for energy, but just because I like drinking hot things. But I know that like if I choose to not drink tea today, for example, let's say I haven't had a tea yet, I would be fine with it. Like I wouldn't feel anything bad from like skipping 1 day. My body is used to have super juiced up metabolism from coffee. I would probably die without it. Exactly, right? It's like you are used, like your body is used to like have this burst of energy and cannot function without it. And for me, this is like the thing. I'm like, it feels like such a hassle to like being reliant on like an external source of energy that is not even like long lasting. Like it will drop at some point and you will need like another cup to feel like you're back into your normal like level of energy. Like normal with your body being adjusted to coffee. And I'm like, what's the point when you can just like lock in from like a non-caffeinated like state and just push through everything? But again, that's my way of doing things. And I think that like having coffee as a baseline is not necessarily bad if you do enjoy drinking coffee. If you drink coffee and you don't like it, it's like, what are you even doing? But yeah, I think it's like it's just personal decisions and stuff. Like I really do understand people that fell into coffee very early, that really love coffee, and again because like coffee is also about the taste and not just like the energy. Drinking Monster Energy for the love of the game. This is crazy to me. Like energy drink, I just don't understand. I just do not understand. Like maybe this is my insane opinion as someone like kind of like uneducated like on the topic, because I don't do research on it because like I don't drink energy drinks, but like, is it good for your health? Are you not shooting like your body down into like the drain by drinking those things? Will you be like, will your body be able to sustain you when you will be like, you know, older? Like I can't, in my naive and like uneducated opinion, I feel like drinking those things will kill you like early. It's so insane. Water is just good. Drinking water is just good. It is addictive to some extent. Enjoy is controversial. Well, it's the same thing with everything that you consume in moderation. It's fine. I mean, I don't have like this conversation too much with people, but like, okay, for example, we know that like, I think Sigrid is like an energy drink person, no? Or am I crazy? Like, what's your weekly consumption of like energy drink? It's like taking a gamble on not having long-term meta studies on the contents of energy drinks, but hey, they taste good. Do they taste good? I don't know. I never had, I mean, right now, nothing. Okay. Just do hard drugs in moderation. Only coffee. I mean, you know, at least it's just coffee. Like if it's like coffee plus cigarette plus energy drink, yeah, you're probably cooked as a person, but I live off ghost energy because my job demands in summer because my job demands it out of me. Trying to go back to coffee. Okay, so you are like living into energy drinks and you want to go back into coffee. I mean, you know, I can understand. Allegedly, some energy drinks I enjoy taste like stale tea, but nothing else in the world tastes like it, and I love it. You love stale tea. I mean, like I'm Asian, meaning that like for me, tea must be drunk like hot. You need to drink it when it's hot. It's not like, oh, we are not putting like milk or anything like it. It's like it needs to be piping hot. But like stale tea is like, what are... I mean, why am I asking for your opinion, Ellie? Like you are weird, and it's okay. I did read somewhere that for ADHD, some energy things have a regulating effect instead of an energizing power. It's interesting. I mean, again, you know, you use the tools that you want to use. I feel like it feels like for me that like, you know, you see how radioactive these things like smell and like looks, and I'm like, no way I'm putting that on my body, but maybe this is just me. I honestly think it was self-medicating for years. I mean, again, all tools are great, I think. As long as, you know, you have like, as Pico said, as long as you have like a control over them. It's I think it's okay to find like relief and like comfort in like things that you know are good for you. I mean, in a sense, in a certain way, it's like, okay, you do well, and like you kind of like reward yourself with like, you know, something sweet afterwards, and it's kind of like building a habit, almost like Pavlovian habit. Is it a bad thing? Maybe, like if you know it becomes like too important in your life, but at the same time it's just like something sweet that you eat like a little bit after working, and I think the overall positive effect is just better than any of the negatives, and probably you can get away with this being like, you know, I'm not self-medicating, but at least I'm doing something that like works for me. The whole joke is that if you're already hyperactive, bad term for ADHD, but it is what it is, drinking more energy, you would explode, but instead of getting more hyper, you get more focused. I kind of get that. Like, I can't really, I wanted to say something, but I think it would be too private for a stream, but like, no, yeah. Is it normal for people to prefer a certain temperature for some dishes or drinks? I think so. I mean, certain dishes anyway, they're meant to be like cold or hot, right? Like it would be weird to, I don't know, eat ramen cold, for example, no? So I would say like, I have like a temperature sweet spot when it comes to food, where I know like this is the way I do enjoy most of like my meals. But yeah, I think it's normal, I guess, unless it's like a certain temperature for like every type of like meal that you have, and maybe that's like a bit much, but I like my food frozen and my drinking olive oil boiling. I have heaps of anecdotal evidence of ADHD people being caffeine addicted and not hyper even though we drink jet fuel. I mean, also at some point, like you don't have the hyper thingy drinking coffee now? Or is your body not like getting used to it, and it's like you have like this like little burst of like, not burst, but you have like this energy, like it's your base energy level, but it doesn't feel like a burst anymore. Food taste changes quite a bit with temperature. Yes, absolutely. Frozen pizza? What are you talking about? Are you talking about pizza you have put like in the fridge, or like frozen pizza? Like frozen, freezer, frozen. What are you talking about, Ellie? To know like to what degree I need to pop off on you. I drank a cup of coffee every morning before high school for like 2 or 3 years, and I don't think I had any effect on me. I mean, to be fair, like I had a classmate, frozen overnight. Why? What is this girl doing? What are you doing? What's the point of doing it like overnight? You can just leave it in the fridge. So you put like your concrete. Okay, you put your pizza leftovers in the freezer for them to freeze, and then in the morning, you bring them out of the freezer, and after that you eat them. I'm surrounded by weaker minds. What is she talking about? I mean, okay, if you enjoy what you're doing, like I'm really happy for you, genuinely. But like, you're such an interesting person. I'm a ghost type. Okay, so I wanted to say I had a classmate that like used to drink like one small bottle of like Coca-Cola every day for breakfast. Like, they needed to drink like their Coca-Cola for breakfast, and I'm like, if you do that, like, it doesn't even have an effect on you, right? Like, you survive on literally like one bottle of like cola every day, or like as long as I've known this person, like not too long, but still. And I guess it's like the thing of like your body is getting used to it, and you just don't have like any effect of what you're taking. But I also think this is a question of like baseline. It's like your body is like used to this new baseline, and that's why it feels normal, and it feels like you don't have like any effects. I don't know. That sounds like Swiss cheese teeth. He was alright, I think. It was weird though. Like, you know, I'm not necessarily like a breakfast person, especially not like sweet breakfast person. And back then, like, we just did not have the time to, you know, do like a savory breakfast. Like, you cannot sit and eat like your soup and your rice and your fish or whatever, your egg. Like, you don't have time to do that. So I just went to school basically eating like a little bit of bread, and that was basically it. But he would come like on his bike, chugging like his bottle of like Coca-Cola, and like this was a sight to behold. The worst part is not the caffeine from Coke, it's the sugar. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly that. And I'm like, how are you even alive? How are you even alive with that? Soda with sugar is yucky. I mean, I don't drink soda, to be fair. I find soda to be yucky in general. Anime girl running but with a toast but with a Coke bottle. This was exactly this. This was a crazy sight. Real ones drink Pepsi Max. I just don't drink cola. Just don't drink soda, I'm sorry. I drink water and tea, and that's basically it. Oh, you had like the same idea, I think. You got sniped. It happens. It's okay, Ellie. We love you even if you were late on the message. But yeah, for me, like, this is really a question of like baseline. That's why, like, you know, I've been used to not having breakfast for so long that like I can eat like a breakfast if it's like proposed, but like I would never like eat breakfast like for myself. I stand Pepsi Max, their bubbles are much better than Cola Zero, I guess. I don't know, this is like a soda enjoyer discussion and I'm not part of them. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like on the spectrum of like, you know, drink discourse. I'm like on the mineral water in bottle extreme. Like I choose like my water depending on the taste. Too small and annoying. I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes. Tonic water, oh my god. You need to drink water. Drinking water is important. Like you cannot just drink, you know, soda. You will die. You will die. Why do you know this? Like, why do you know this? Judo my soul. Why do you know Judo my soul? Did we share that like in the server? Or are you like actually like Hololive peeled? Mineral water, like ice, oh my god. Are people here like ice cube munchers or not? This water in soda, this doesn't, oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know what I will do with you. I just blend some minerals and turn it into mineral water. You know, you joke with that. I was genuinely thinking about doing that for tea at some point to have like the perfect like flavor profile for my tea, but I think this would be like a little bit too much. Does someone here does not know Judo My Soul? Wait, is it that popular? Do everybody knows? Is it like a mainstream meme like the Judo My Soul? Really? Are you for real? I have no idea. No, Siggy is just not weeb. She's not a weeb, so she cannot know Jut on my soul, but like non-Hololive watchers, like you know what like Jut on my soul is? We're not exactly mainstream, yeah, exactly. I mean, Sigrid is probably the most normie person in here, but blend some water and ice in a blender and enjoy a cool water smoothie. Shaking my head, shaking my head. I don't watch Hololive, but I do follow some memes from time to time. Oh, I see. First time I've ever been called normie. Oh, and I will be very honest with you, I don't think it's like even close. Like you genuinely have like normie energy, and this is probably because you're hanging out with way more normies than like we do, but like on this chat at the very least, yes, you are the normie one. And we need one, you know, every chat, every community needs like a normie, and I'm sorry to say that like you're this person, and I mean that with all the love that I have for you. I mean, we're weebs, and you're not. You are back. Welcome back. Welcome back. The normie inflation. We imagine if all the exactly. It's like, you know, there's this experiment when you put like when you check like a ant nest, right? You always have like 60% of like average workers, and you have like 20% of like high performers and 20% of people that are doing nothing. And even if you take like a subset of like those ants, for example, you take only ants in like the other worker categories and you put them like in a very separate environment, they will fall back into this like 20, 60, 20 like configuration, like kind of like naturally. And it's like the same thing in here. It's like you need to have like normies. Even if you're not a normie in like your daily environment, if you're put in a community with like other people, we will have to like readjust like the roles, and you may become like the new normie, and it's okay, I think. Normie compliment, 100%. And I think it's kind of like the same thing. If we take like a host of Ellies, I think some Ellies would stay like as Ellies, some would be even crazier than that, and I think some Ellies would have like to tone down naturally to find some equilibrium. All of this because I'm not a weeb. I mean, the thing is like on the internet, not being a weeb is crazy nowadays. Like everybody is watching anime, everybody is like, you know, into like Japanese cultures. You have like people that are going to Japan like just like this. You have people that start learning the language like they were like, oh, you are so quirky for liking, you know, anime and manga, and you see the same person like, you know, 10 years after, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm fluent in Japanese and stuff. It's like everybody is like a weeb on the internet, and I think for you to not be a weeb, you have embraced this like normie energy, but like in a very endearing way. The normie friends I've had before have all loved mumming. I mean, it tracks, right? It's like you love mumming instead of like, you know, Japanese anime. It's like, yeah. I've played Mahjong with you, watched anime with you, played a weeb game. Yeah, but like she's like, you know, Sigrid is like kind of like it's your relative, it's your parent that you introduce like to, you know, weeb things. It's like, oh, we can watch like a Ghibli movie together, and that's basically the extent of it. Ellie, you're so funny. I guess mumming love in Sweden is different than in Spain. Yeah, true to some extent. Rani is too 14 pilled. Weeb is such a weird word. It is to some extent. It is. But anyway, all of that to say, like, you're all loved. Like, even if you're weird, like Ellie, even if you're like, or whatever you are, you're welcome in this chat. Like, we want people you know, to feel like welcome and to feel like they can come and be themselves and like not being judged for liking certain things or for not being into others. So it's okay. Yeah, my chat is going crazy right now. It's a character in Path to Nowhere, oh. I need to play like more Path to Nowhere, like I've seen like crazy things and I need to catch up, but you know, catching up on gacha games is just a little bit crazy. You're especially liked for being weird. Exactly, that's what we say on the library. Like, you know, we're all weird here, and it's okay. We all have our quirks. You can be, you know, whatever you want to be, and you will be supported in this place. Like, no, I don't want to have like a conversation. Like I feel like it will go back to like another like very, you know, emotional conversation, but we should not. What are you saying? You're welcome, Secret. You're welcome to be like this. Oh my god, you know, you don't have to like weep things, you don't have to you know, have the same obsessions that like, you know, the rest of us or even like me. And I think it's like great. It's great because like it gives like different perspective on stuff and like we can discuss about it. Like you are welcome in here. Oh my god. If you are staying in this chat, and you know, I am happy to talk to you, it means that like you are welcome, and not like just you, but like everything that is composing your being, meaning like your interests, your quirks, and like how you behave. Like you are welcome in here. Ellie is such a weeb that she even has those circle Hikimayo eyebrows when she does faces. So true. To bait Nordings into ousting themselves. This is crazy. I'm gonna watch Mushishi right now to prove the haters wrong. Okay, but Mushishi is probably like, you know, I say that as like one of the most, you know, fervent Mushishi lovers. But like, it's like those artsy anime that like you can show non-weeb people, right? Like I wouldn't even feel like remotely embarrassed showing Mushishi to my parents, for example. But +2 in watching La Mushishi, we should watch Mushishi. They are not eyebrows, they are my eyelashes. You're so funny. Maybe Sigi is just an artsy girl, and we love that, like +2. I mean, we kind of like knew that, right? Because like you're into mooming, so you don't really have a choice. I think it's weird to be into mooming and not being like artsy to some extent. Like you like that would be a really strange profile, and I would be like, you are defying the heuristics like a bit too much. Thinking of worst anime to recommend to Sigi. Hi, I mean, hi, Zangetsu. Nice to meet you. I hope that you're doing all right, and thank you for being here. Am I happy about my accomplishments on Twitch? I mean, I've been streaming for like what, almost like a year. I think I'm happy where I am. Like, I don't think, you know, those are like crazy accomplishments or anything like this. I think we had like pretty slow growth, but also this is like, you know, what I expected things to be with the niche I was trying to fill. So I'm pretty happy where I am. Streaming was kind of like a break of like video editing, and I'm back into video editing like for the past like few months now. So I would say like I'm pretty happy. Bezos is still alive, so I would not say. So I would say we have not reached our goals. I mean, it is what it is, you know. Like we go there like slowly. And thank you for the, you know, brackets, because like my lawyers appreciate them. Am I getting like raised on my own by my own chat like right now? I don't know what to say. But also like speaking of like anime, I was kind of like telling that to people is that I just don't have like time for anime and like and manga like lately. I am following. I need to catch up on like the later seasons, like the latest episodes of like Uma Musume, of Cinderella, Grey, and like I am very very hyped for the next season of like Frieren. So yeah, but also like this is always like funny when people are giving recommendation and stuff because like I'm so shoujo peeled that like it's so hard finding people that have the same taste as I do. You should watch Negaposi Fish or Angler. You watch it together. What are you talking about? Ibas, it will be on the video, obviously. Like, this was a nice thing. Like, I still have like very good memories of it. To be fair, it was very sweet. Felt kind of like not shoujo-esque, but like a very quiet slice of life thingy that I really do enjoy. But yeah, recommending anime. Oh my god, I can't do this nowadays. Like I still recommend the same slice of life anime, but like people are not interested in like slice of life nowadays. So you know, it is what it is. I'm here being like, you should watch like Maison Ikoko, you should read Maison Ikoko, but like, who cares about Maison Ikoko in like 2025? Will me screaming from the bathtub be included in the video? What are you talking about? What do you mean, you screaming from the bathtub? I said to Sigi we should watch some Ghibli movies in the server. This is really good. Like, this is a good idea. Kimagure, Orange Road. Are you talking about the movie, or you're talking about like? Are you talking about the first movie, or are you talking about the anime? Because I was like rewatching like the first movie lately, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot like how soul crushing it is. The anime, I'm less a fan of the anime, but like because I'm such an enjoyer of like the first film. What's my favorite word? My favorite word is we can go web fishing. Again, we go back into web fishing. Can I take a picture of you because I want to show Sander what I mean? This is a little bit too much. This is a little bit too much. Here. She doesn't know. No, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Have you watched Berserk? I did watch Berserk. I'm not an enjoyer, and I'm not like a Berserk enjoyer, to be fair. It's like it's this type of like, you know, seinen that like really is boring to me. I think thank you for the accent. I don't know. Like I'm into shoujo, I'm into josei, like all the gritty shonen and like seinen stuff. I'm like, yeah. You know, I've heard about those stories like for the 1 millionth time, and I'm like, I'm not interested in like reading those things again. I don't think it's bad, Berserk, but I don't think it's very interesting. At least it doesn't fit my taste, so it is what it is. And I'm way into like slice of life anyway, to really enjoy, you know, those type of like stories. But yeah, like, you know, to some extent, I prefer, for example, like Vagabond way more than Berserk in like, you know, the seinen department. Chaya Furu, best anime. Chaya Furu is nice. This is like a really good one. If only we had more military space drama, Yuri. Are you like already like in, you know, in withdrawal after like the latest Gundam season? Where is our cultivation, Yuri? I've seen like people on Blue Sky starting like a book club of like, you know, Yuri kind of like manhwa, but also it feels like it was like very by her coded, like Yuri coded. So we have like so many new people in chat. What is happening today? Hi, Kitsune Kriyo. I hope that you are doing very, very good. I haven't watched any actual anime ever, only read One Piece. I mean, if you read like One Piece until like, you know, recent content, you have read a lot. Zatsudan is peak, but also like, are people really like, because this is a crowded category, you know, like just chatting. So like, I'm really happy because I just have to talk, but like, I'm surprised that like people find a channel through Zatsudan. So it's kind of like interesting to me. Today is the day. I mean, you know, everybody is welcome here. But yeah, I hope that you're doing all right. Thank you for coming. Just lurking around, meeting new people. This is good. Thank you for coming. You know, we are really happy to see new people, and feel free to just lurking. No pressure into typing into chat and whatsoever. We are just talking in here. But yeah, I think also like anime is just time consuming. I do like lately that like we are going into the 12 12 episodes per season thingy, and like it kind of like you have like part 1 and part 2. Like Shindera Grey did that, like is doing that right now. We had the first season a few months ago, and then we're finishing like we're finishing like Court 2 right now, and I think it's fun. But yeah, like those long animes where you have to be here like every week for goddess know how long, it's like a bit too much. I thought Zatsudan was a game and we have been chatting instead, and Trimmer forgot. No. Zatsudan is that Zatsu is like random and Dan is a conversation. So it's just like, you know, random topic of conversation, what we used to call like, you know, just chatting or chatting only in English. I love things ending. Yeah, I think like you need things to end. Like I don't mind longer anime, you know, you can like you can even push to 100. I think if like your concept is really good, but you need to end at some point. Unless you know, it's a long, like the only long series that I accept is like Metante Conan, but yeah. Yeah, sorry, I'm using the Japanese term because like obviously Zatsudan is such a like a common term in the VTuber scene that like I mean, Conan is ending. Conan is ending at some point. We are entering like in the manga, we are entering like the final arc. That might take like a long time, but like I think we'll get there. Like, and we are basically at the in the finishing arc with the whole Prime Minister of Japan, you know, storyline that is coming, and the Zaibatsu storyline. I think like it's a very interesting direction for like the final arc, and I like that like very, very much. I think it will end at some point. I don't know when exactly, but considering like the direction of the manga lately, I think it will be like a very good ending. Okay, so TV shows. I mean, also like, you know, I know that like you don't want to talk about animes, but this is still my stream at the end of the day, so I choose the talking topics. But to answer your question, what is my favorite TV show? I don't watch like a lot of TV shows, especially lately, so it's hard to say, but like it's either like 6 Feet Under or The Wire. And I think it's The Wire, probably. As much as like, you know, I know that like people really love like 6 Feet Under because of like this change of like tone during the series, and I do agree with that. I just prefer how grounded like The Wire is, and I would say like The Wire is probably my favorite TV show, and I don't think anything else come close to it apart from that. Yeah, from those two. As much as, you know, it seems like a controversial take, I know that like Twin Peaks is like such an important series. I like Twin Peaks like a lot, but also like I don't care much about like Twin Peaks lately. Like it doesn't resonate with me like a lot, whereas The Wire has been such like a formative like TV show to watch when I was like younger. We need library anime club. We need that, but also it means that like I need to watch like the anime as well, and like I'm lazy. I'm lazy. Pause. Is this a Danish thing, or am I crazy? Am I like missing something? TV show. Oh no, okay. I do not know about that. Oh, it's because it's a recent one. It's kind of like recent, so okay. So LGBTQ subculture in the African, American, and Latino communities throughout the 80s and 90s. Yeah, it sounds like such a good thing to watch. And it's not too long. Interesting. I'll put that like on my watching list that I will never watch, but like, yes. What is a TV? That's the thing also. Like the kind of like decline of like television is making harder to, I think, watch TV. Like I don't have, you know, subscriptions for like those things, those like Netflix and stuff, and it's like it's harder to get into like TV shows. We can watch anime you have already watched and just share the thoughts. Yeah, probably we can do that. Relegated to the watch later list. I mean, everything is relegated to the oh my god, she cannot speak. She can't speak in English anymore. Everyone is sent to the watch later list, to be fair. Like, I just don't have the time to watch anime, so it is what it is. Like, or TV shows. Like, if you know, some people want me to watch like Gintama, and this is like a promise I've made like 10 years ago. And, you know, it's still not the case. And I keep saying like, yeah, sure, one day. People can join me rewatching Death Note every 3 months. I'm very, 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 very sorry to say that like I'm probably the Death Note hater in here. Like, good for you if you like it. I just find like Death Note very grating, but my favorite TV shows are Danish shows with one of the Mikkelsons +2. But yeah, we can do that. I mean, you know, like I said that we need to do like movie night, monthly movie night and stuff, and I just like can't schedule those things. It's so annoying. I'm too busy, and then in the evening I'm doing things with like, you know, I'm doing things with people. I can't stay like, you know, on Discord and on voice chat like all like the evening, during all the evening, so it's a little bit like complicated to schedule stuff. It's kind of also the thing that is happening, like, just to talk like quickly about this, about RP. So today, like, I'm kind of like taking the week off RP, just because my character is injured, so I'm kind of like, it gives me like a reason to not play her that much. But also, like, I know I have like such a big list of people I need to RP with, that they want to RP with me, and it's like, it never ends. So like adding more activities on stuff, it's always like a little bit more, you know, complicated for me. Death Note is very silly but comfy. It makes you feel smart if you're stupid, so like, I'm not saying that, Ellie, I'm not saying that. But I do understand the silly but comfy, and I think it's very true. I only watched Columbus solves the Death Note in one episode. This is crazy. But yeah, I mean, TV shows, the problem with TV shows is like, especially nowadays, like, you know, in the 2020s, like, you just don't have like interesting TV shows anymore. In the West. I think like it's kind of like the moment where in the 2020s, you get into like Asian dramas and stuff like this, and you will have like a good time. But like Western TV shows, like it's mostly a dead ecosystem right now, unfortunately. The show is dog water, but the music is generally amazing. I do agree with you. I do agree with you. And to be fair, like if I want to like start like a new arc, like really get out of my video game arc, I don't think like series or anime would be like the thing I would like launch. I think I would just go back to my literature arc because I miss reading a lot. I want to read like more. And this would give me like an opportunity to read, but I know that like reading, you know, what I want to read, this is like a little bit unrelatable on the internet. I really want to do like a book club on the server, but at the same time, like nobody cares. And it's okay. I don't, you know, I don't think that like you need to, I mean, no, you need to read in your life, but it doesn't matter what you want to read. But like what I want to read is like, oh yeah, this like highbrow literature thingy. Interacting with your media chat versus cringe consume only loner. I mean, I don't know. It's like, I'm answering too seriously for like an Ellie message, but like, for me, literature is mostly like, as much as it's fun to, you know, share things about, you know, what you're reading and stuff with people, literature for me is mostly like just opening a window. And as long as I feel like the window has been opened, like I'm happy with like literature. As long as books do not abandon me, then I'm fine with it. So yeah, you know, sharing experiences, this is like kind of like a bonus, but in my view of literature, this is not exactly needed to enjoy like reading and stuff, I think. But I have like a very solitary way of like engaging with culture and like artwork, I think, which is not a bad thing, but yeah. I mean, we'll see. Like, Anime Club is probably the most relatable thing to do. I think it should be like probably something every 3 months, something like that, to give people the time to watch things and to do other things than like watching anime. But like if we can choose like small like anime, some things that are like ideally 12 or 13 episodes long, and like at most probably like, you know, a season, so like 25, then it would be an interesting thing to do like every trimester. Posing a normal polite question in Zatsudan stream versus being brain rotted and just hoping people understand what you mean. I mean, it's good. Like, you know, both are fine. I think I can bounce off of different energy. So Zatsudan is Zatsudan. We are just like yapping, you know? I've been yapping for like 2 hours and 20 minutes at this point. So we just enjoy our time here. And it's nice. Also, this is like kind of the situation where like, because winter is really coming, it's already so dark outside. Like it's, you know, barely past 6 and things are so dark in here. But it is what it is and it's okay. I still, you know, those days I wonder like whether I should stream later during the evening or not, but almost time for bed already. Are you lying? You of all people do not sleep like that early. I see you like awake way later than that, like Ellie. Or it means that like you sleeps like so early, then you wake up like in the very, very early morning. Both are acceptable, I guess. But yeah, also like speaking of that, about that, like daily, not daily, but like reminder that like if you want to hang out with like people in this chat, we have a Discord server that you can join. The link is in description of like the description of the stream. So feel free to join there. As we said, I try to schedule things, but also I'm very busy with video editing lately, so I don't. But I want to engage with you beyond stream, so if you feel like you want to join it, feel free to join it. I lied, I woke up a couple hours ago. I'm not surprised. You would lie on my stream on main, Ellie, with your name totally Ellie on the screen. This is crazy. I feel betrayed. Yeah. What do I have to do like afterwards? So I said video editing, Japanese, that would be good. I'm prepping like storylines and stuff for RP, so I kind of want to read, to write a little bit about that. If I have the time and the energy, but that's like pretty unclear at this point. I need to cook also, like I have some fish to cook and I don't know how I want to cook it. I'm thinking about doing it like en papillote, but I'm just not sure about like how I want to do that. I have some vegetables also. I might just roast them, do the fish on the side, do that with either some rice or like some, I don't know if I have like potatoes that I can turn into like mashed. I don't know. I was lying down, to be honest. It's also something that like happened lately with me. It's like I want to take naps, but like I end up just lying down and I just can't fall asleep, which is like very sad. But also I think like my latest nap that I aimed for like power naps of like 20 minutes and they failed and I'm napping for like 1 hour and I'm like, oh, this is so bad. That sounds so good. Yeah. I need to cook. I think like, you know, I was like in a very like non-cooking mood for the past like weeks for some reason. Like I was kind of like, oh no, I don't want to cook. And I did some nice things like lately. I think like her latest thing I cooked that felt like not high energy, but like enough to be nice. Was like we had like pork chops and I made, so we had bulgur and I made like salsifis with some onions. There was some garlic. I used some paprika and I kind of like slowly cooked that into like a sauce and kind of like made a sauce with like butter afterwards. And I also made like a second sauce on the side because I felt like the dish was like a bit dry, so I did like a sauce paloise, and that was like very, very interesting. That was a very nice dish, and I love using like also less known ingredients. I think like salsifi especially, it's something that people really don't like because it's like a bit dirty to cook. Since you get like the root and you have like so much dirt that like it's such like a hassle to clean. But salsifi are great, especially when you cook them like for a long time and slowly. They give like this like a very similar kind of like sweetness as like carrots, but also they have like more body. And I think that was like very funny to have like this little sweetness to accompany like the pork chop, because also the sauce was like I put like some pear into it, and I think it gave like a little bit of like it elevated the dish, bringing like a little bit of energy, and that was like really nice. And I can't wait to begin to cook with like oranges a little bit later, you know, in the following weeks. Bulgur is very pug, to be fair. I do agree. This is like such a nice cereal to have. Like I've been eating a lot of rice lately, and you know I love my rice. I'm Asian, of course. I love my rice, but switching, you know, with other things, it's like always a very nice thing. But I do love cooking. Sometimes I'm not in exactly in like a cooking mood, but it's slowly coming back, and I'm really happy about this because. You know, like spending time on your computer, working on your computer in front of a screen, this is tiring, and like I just want to do something with my hands to be able to cool down and relax. And I think cooking is like part of like those activities where I just feel like very in the zone. I don't have to think too much. I just cook and everything is coming together. I want a rice cooker so bad. Just buy one. Just buy one. It's that good. Like you will if you eat rice even like twice per week, you will get it worth like so fast. Like a rice cooker is that good. Just buy one. Just buy one. Like I know that like you can cook your rice. If you have like a steamer, you can cook your rice like the, you know, Chinese way, Asian way, and you will have like such a good rice. But also you need to check the rice a little bit more than like a rice cooker, and it is worth it. Because oh my god, I'm sorry to say it that way, but like white people, they don't know how to eat rice. Like they cook rice like in a pan, and I'm like, what is this mess? It's like, it's not like just because I come, you don't have like to cook rice for me, you know, like especially if it's cooked that way. It's crazy. Don't worry about it. Like opening a charity stream, but like the charity is like buying a rice cooker for Ellie. I've had this friend before about like rice and white people. Oh my god. I mean, you know, you can do your rice in a pan. I think like if you know what you're doing, it comes like okay. But if you do your rice in a pan and at the end you have to strain it, then it's completely cooked and your rice is like disgusting. I'm sorry to say it. If you cook like rice in a pan, you only parboil the rice and then you finish in a steamer. Because you don't want things to be mushy. You want things to kind of like have the time and the space to cook like nicely and slowly, like with the steam. But like if you cook your entire rice in a pan, oh my god, I'm sorry. Oh, back when we got the miyabi Japanese curry recipe. Oh yeah, I forgot that we did that. Like, I mean, it is what it is, you know. Like, you know, if you don't have a steamer, if you just have a pan, it's okay. But like, I think it's like the strangest thing for me. It's mostly because when I get like invited to people's place, right? It's like, for some reason, if like you're Asian, people will invite you and like try to cook Asian things or Asian adjacent things, and I'm like, you don't have to, right? Like I can eat those things myself. I don't need you, a person that has no ties to like Asian, you know, cultures, to cook that for me. And if you really want to cook like something Asian, then you need to know what you're doing. You cannot like improvise your way through like midway. You need to have cooked this like dish like a lot. You need to know what you're doing with rice. If like what you're cooking is like, you know, 4 times worse than like what I'm cooking at home, then don't bother inviting me, please. Apparently there's a calc for rice, but it's different depending on the surface area of your pan because you have to keep in mind the evaporation. Yes, and it's also different with the type of rice you're using. If you use like Japanese rice, for example, japonica, you will use like more water. So it really depends on a lot of things. You cannot like... Doing rice in a pan, this is like so difficult. Like to hit the perfect result every time. If you have a steamer, you can like check the cooking like midway, and you will never, obviously you will never like drown your rice. or burn it, because you're cooking with steam. So you just have to remove like your steamer from, over the water. But you don't have like this level of control like in the pan. If you put like too much water, then it will be mushy, and there's nothing you can do, because like you will have to drain, but it's already too late. If you have put not enough like water, then it will burn at the bottom. And that's the great thing with the rice cooker. The rice cooker is like steaming your rice at the end. So you will get like something that finish with like this like nice quality of like having like the rice grain being like really like independent from one another. If you do with a steamer, manually, you will have the same result. It will be like a very fluffy rice. But pan, so hard, so hard. And, I'm not expecting anyone to get it right, especially like if they don't use like good rice. It's also like the thing with like buying, eating with people that are not Asian and they are making rice for you for Asian dish. It's like you're buying your rice literally at, Western stores. And I can feel that it's not good rice. And it's like, why should we bother? Like, I'm used to have like some jasmine rice that is like very, flavorful. And you're like bringing me something that like is basically the worst that you can find like in the West. I'm not even talking about like, people like preparing like Uncle Ben's rice, because I think that this would be like an insult, I think. But, the store-bought basmati rice, I'm like, we don't eat basmati in Southeast Asia, right? So it's like, what are you doing? I do understand like basmati is kind of like the thing that like people are used to, but I really don't like basmati unless I'm specifically eating like Indian or like South Asian cuisine. It's like you should like buy jasmine rice. And if you're cooking like Japanese dish, if you're not using like Japanese rice, oh, it's so weird. Today I learned Japanese rice is draining my local water supply and causing environmental damage. I mean, what? Why people don't wash their rice? Oh my goodness. I'm jasmine rice peeled even for Indian food. I mean, I can understand, to be fair. I think like even I'm saying that like, that like basmati is bad for like for East Asian, Southeast Asian, and I'm like, not really, right? It's mostly like personal preferences. But like if you do that, I think it's okay. If you do the other way around, like jasmine rice for like Indian cuisine, I think it's also like alright. It's just the sauces are not like the same, so it's a little bit weird when you do this. But like okay, but like basmati for Chinese cuisine is like, what are we even trying to do here? It's so bad. I think most people go for jasmine rice in general here. I'm very glad to hear that, because like at least in here, all the rice that I can find like in normal Western shops, it's like stores, it's mostly like basmati, but it's just a different variety. So like your basmati rice, it will it's let's say it's the level of stickiness of the rice and how like sticky the rice will feel together. And like the basmati rice, you will have like a longer grain and very thin grain, and also it's not mushy at all. It's like very independent. Like every rice grain is independent from each other, but in such a way that like you don't even have like, they don't stick to each other at all, which is great for like certain cuisine. This is great for Indian cuisine, but like for my palate, it feels like a little bit weird because I'm used to like Southeast cuisine, and I'm used to jasmine rice. Like I also think that basmati rice is like a little bit bland for my taste, but yeah. Westerners are very Indian peeled of everything there is natural. I mean, yeah, Also, this is the thing is, it's also hard to find like some Japanese rice. Like if you want some really good Japanese rice, oh my god, you will have to struggle to find them. And I'm a bit sad because sometimes I really want some Japanese rice, but it's just that expensive, to be fair. Although I say that, but rice lately is like super expensive. I remember like, the price of rice when I was like a child, and it was not that crazy, but like inflation and stuff, it makes things like so expensive. And it has been a struggle kind of like eating rice. If I'm not like, buying like rice with other people and stuff, I would generally like eat way less rice than what I'm doing nowadays. They stick together if you don't wash your rice and also overcook it if you add too much water. Exactly. I mean, we talked about like how to make your rice perfect, right? But like you need to wash your rice. Like the number of time you wash your rice will depend on like the type of like rice you're using and also like the final result you want. I think like there's some kind of like improvisation and also personal taste when it comes to making rice. But like you want to remove some amount of like the amidon from your rice. And also, yeah, you want like my rule of thumb is like put like less water than needed because you want to finish the cooking by steaming, by letting your rice steam in your rice cooker. I do understand the convenience of like I can do my rice at the very last moment, and as soon as like it, the things is like clicking up, finishing, you open your thing and stuff, and you can eat your rice. But also like you don't let your rice resting, and you don't let it like kind of like finish cooking in the steam and stuff, and like kind of like settle the amidon again. And I think it's like a bit sad. Like for me, you need to let the rice cool, not cool, but like rest for like half an hour, even after like the rice cooker has finished cooking. Me looking at Mexican cooking, knowing that I will have to dry my own chilies. I mean, this is the thing, right? So there's assassin spaghetti. Could there be assassin's right dish as well? I mean, like if you talk about like Asian cuisine, we do eat spicy in general. So, do you really have like assassin's rice dish? Like it's mostly like how much you can handle of like certain cultures. Like, can you handle like spice, the level of like a Thai person or not? And spice is such like a subjective thing because first of all, you have like different sort of like spice. We talked about that. Like, if you are used to like Cantonese cuisine, yeah, mala is like such a nice thing, I love mala. I think it's like really great. But there's also like I've been like, spending a lot of time with obviously Cantonese people. And it's like they're really, really good at like handling mala, but they cannot handle like pepper spice. They cannot handle, the raw spiciness of like even like not even like chili pepper, but just like pepper, black pepper, and this like is strong for them. So spice is really something you need to get used to. It's like a cultural like thing that you grow into, and yeah, there is different spicy, and I think it's great. I'm, attuned to southeastern spicy and to like Cantonese spicy, but I just don't get, Tabasco that much because like for me, this isn't just, I know that like you have like so many different sort of like chili peppers and stuff, but like Tabasco is just not that interesting to me in general. But also like I handle it not as good as I should, and that's just something I need to train by. But also I don't know, I just don't like just throwing like some Tabasco on stuff. It's a bit weird. I want to be humbled. I mean, you just have to go into like if you can find like a good like Thai restaurant, I think it's like a good experience to get like destroyed by actual Thai spice, difficulty. My cooking was so handicapped when I cooked for an ex that couldn't handle black pepper spice. It's I mean, there's like not handling and not handling, right? Like if you cannot at all use black pepper, yeah, this is crazy. You can go like white pepper, I guess, because it's milder. This is the thing we would use for like fish, for example. But yeah, I mean, as much as I think cooking is like always putting handicap on yourself, right? Like you're kind of like accepting that you're cooking for people that have different tastes than you. And I'm always happy to, you know, kind of like compromise when I'm cooking. I know that some people don't like mushroom. I know that some people don't like onions, and I will try my best to, you know, cook without them. I think it's really hard to cook without onions, but in a way, like the pleasure of pleasing someone that, you know, struggle with like certain ingredients kind of like supersedes the annoyance of not having this ingredient in the kitchen in the first place. But yeah, we do what we can, right? Chili craze gochujang. Try and import some high quality chilies to make your own sauce. Oh my god, I need to ask my friend about like the gochujang cookie thingies. I don't know if they did the thing or not. But I need to ask if they did their gochujang cookie experiment or not, because I need to know if it's good or not. But this is also the thing with like cooking. I think it's like when you are really deep into cooking and you want to cook well, you will have to start to import things, and this is when, you know, the complicated part happens. I think like you cannot reach like a level of authenticity of like, you know, East Asian cuisine, for example. And it's okay, we just like take some alternative and stuff. It's not the same thing, but it's tasty nonetheless. You can only afford level I cannot pronounce that, so I'm sorry. It is what it is, you know. We cook with what we cook with what we have, and I think there are like nice things in like every cultures. Like again, I'm not. This is not appealing to me. Like Nordic cuisine visually is not appealing to me because it looks so bland for like the way my palate has been, you know, has grown up since I was like a child with like Asian cuisine. But do I think it's uninteresting? No, of course not. And I think like I'm very curious about like, you know, all the things that like Nordic people are eating. So like marinated, all the marinated and fermented like fish. This is like something I'm really interested in, to be fair. Nordic cuisine is survival food. I mean, but it doesn't mean that like it's bad if it's survival, right? I think a lot of like very famous dishes are kind of like food made from, you know, scraps and trying to like, you know, survive. So it's okay. Like bouillabaisse is kind of like survival food also to some extent. I'm shutting off my ears. It's okay. It's okay. Again, we love everybody in here. Everybody is fine. Also, we have been chatting for like almost 3 hours. What are we doing here? Shouldn't we like go to bed? Blood pudding is apparently a thing in the US as well. But blood pudding is like very good, no? I think blood cooking is like underrated. Blood sausage is like, I mean, I did my like blood sausage posting, and I genuinely think it's one of like the best sausages that you can buy if it's high quality. And I think like blood is kind of like underrated nowadays because we find it like dirty, and we have like other ways of like kind of making sauce and stuff. But blood is good. Blood is just very, very good in general. It's just a change of like, you know, how people are consuming like animal products, I think. And because most people do not go to like butcheries anymore, they are not used to like cook with like with blood and all those like quote unquote dirty parts of like the animals. And that's why you have like cultures that are so blood adverse nowadays. But in other countries and, you know, in Asia, it's still very normal to cook with like blood, I think. And I think it's great. Yeah, the weird quote unquote stuff, right? It's like, I think weird stuff is basically what you don't find in like supermarkets nowadays in the West. And I mean, like, I kind of like mentioned that we need to do like the Japan food like lecture series, and we'll see like through the series that like the way kombini have like how kombini has like reshaped how people are experiencing certain ingredients. I think for me this is very funny that like, for example, like in the West, eating like the head of like fish is considered like such a you know, disgusting thing. Like seeing like the head of like your fish and like kind of like prying things from like the inside part of the head, and people are like, ew, this is like disgusting. I'm like, that you don't like this for, you know, specifically because you're vegetarian and like you don't, for example, like you don't eat meat at all because you think like it's cruelty against animal. Like I 100% agree with it, and I can get behind you. But like if you are like, oh, I can like eat like, you know, fish and meat, but like going for the head is like a bit too much, I'm like, you are missing like so much. I'm perfectly fine with meat industry leftovers products. It's cheaper as well. I mean, depends what we call leftovers, right? Are you calling like really like the worst part of like the meat? Or are you talking about like, you know, how do you call that in English already? Let me check. Offals, right? I think if you are into like offal, it's like it's really great. But if it's just like bad quality meat, this is just not good, right? I know it's cheaper, but like you shouldn't eat things that are. At this point, you can just go vegetarian, I think, instead of like spending money on meat. Meat eaters being consistent in cruelty is funny. I mean, like, we are not speaking. If I speak big troubles, a lot of places only use blood from the meat industry for agriculture, plant nourishment, or whatever it's called. Yeah, true. Fish heads aren't common in here. Oh, really? In such like a fish culture and fish-driven culture, this is very funny to me. Like for me, you should just like, oh my god, the cheeks of the fish is like the best part of like the fish. Pig heads, on the other hand, yeah. I mean, it's the case in like a lot of cultures, to be honest, like in Europe. Pig's feet and chicken hearts, blood pudding and liver kind of thing. Oh yeah, then I agree with you. Yeah. Those are nice things. I told that on stream, I think, once, but like I say it again, but genuinely like trying like pig brains is really something that I want to do one day, but like it's so hard. I don't think it's even legal to do that in France. Is it? I don't know. It's very much like Asian cooking, but I don't even know how you can find, if you can find like a pig's brain to buy in your butcheries. Toasted pork skin. I think it's like, to be fair, I think like pork skin is a delicacy and like a snack in most of cultures, to be fair, because it's just so easy to make. And, you know, frying skin, it's kind of like a by the book thing you can do anyway. The Danes know how to do it. We do stand our Danes friends. Thank you, you know, for cooking nice things, I guess. No. We have interesting things, like, you know, there's always this meme about like UK having like such a poor cuisine culture, and it's like, we shouldn't trust like Americans. Like we shouldn't. It was a mistake to kind of let Americans speak on that particular topic, because like, you have like great food everywhere, and like you have like some British food that are very, very nice. It's just that like those recipes are not what you see on the internet, and some of them has also fallen out of like what restaurants of like serving, but they are really, really nice things, full of flavors and very close to, for example, like what French cuisine is, because of course like both cultures have been influencing each other through, you know, Norman cuisine, and after that like through contacts in, you know, high society and nobilities during like the modern era. And they're all interesting things like to glean from every culture, and I think then you can lean into fusion cuisine, and it's very nice. But this is really something I want to like say on this stream often, because like this is a public place. It's like cuisine and food is really like such a very rich window to a culture, and you will find interesting things. There is no bad culture in the world per se, and you will always find like people need to eat, so they will also like try to make things good if they have like the material opportunity to do so. And you will find like tasty things in every culture. It's just like a matter of finding those things. And sometimes it's outside of our wheelhouse, and it's okay. It just means that our taste buds have not been educated to like enjoy those things, but like we can learn to like open our palate and our like taste buds again, and I think it's like a positive thing. I have a cookbook from the 70s, and every photo looks like something from the British cuisine. But also it's like, what does British cuisine mean? Like, you know, you have like dishes that are very nice, like in British cuisine. Like you have excellent like casseroles and stuff. It's just that people do not think about this, and they think about like meme dishes because it's a way to dunk on like UK cuisine, when you can do this thing in literally like every other culture, to be fair. Mixing foods that seem stupid to mix is so much fun as well. I mean, for me, you need to have like a method to the madness. Like you cannot just like mix food like for no reason, but like if you have like a good handling on like cuisine, and you know that like things work that way palette wise, and I think it's the thing you learn in cooking, is that you learn that certain combination of like flavors, or like, you know, bread and butter, B&Bs, then you kind of lean into like this fusion thingy of like adding things to everything. I think there's like this very funny like Korean family where maybe you have seen those videos, like you have like those this like old Korean couple, and their daughter is like cooking a lot of, you know, world cuisine for them, and they're just like kind of like enjoying like new flavors together. And what they do is that they always like bring like the kimchi thingy at the end, right? They always like eat kimchi with like all those like foods from around the world, and it's like it makes sense, right? Like kimchi is like such a versatile like fermented thing that you can add to every dish, and it will genuinely elevate like most of like what you are cooking, no matter where it's coming from. And I think that like this is really like a good example of like what proactive fusion cuisine is. It's really about matching flavors together in an intelligent and clever way, and you will like build like some dish that are really, really good. And for me, this is like what fusion cuisine really is. It's about like respecting the kind of like legacy and heritage of like both cooking styles you're trying to blend, and being like, this particular dish came to existence for like this particular reason, and I think like philosophy wise it kind of like matches this particular other like dish or flavor of this other culture, and I can elevate like both together. And that's when you're like creating like cooking that feels like very human, and also very respectful of like what you're doing. I'm not saying that you need to do that. Like if you just want to like mix things up like on your own, I think it's great. But like if you're serving it to people, I think like this is like the philosophy that you have to go with. And especially people that are in the culture you're trying to imitate. And well, yeah, that's basically my take. Like, yeah, Monty completely very good videos. I think like she is also a big proponent of like, I cook like Korean dishes, but also we kind of adapt to like our American environment, our Western environment. Sometimes we don't have like those ingredients on hand because they are really, you know, only located in Asia. And it's okay to take alternatives as long as, you know, you have fun cooking and as long as it's good at the end. Then it's like Korean inspired and stuff. And it's still, you know, a very good meal and you will have fun and you will engage with Korean culture. And yeah, and she's like such a positive like woman. Very big recommendation on like Monty in general because I don't watch her like as much as I used to do, but like she was a big inspiration on like how to approach cuisine, I think, for me. But yeah, we have been yapping too much. So we need to like stop right now. We need to do other things in our life. So thank you very much for like coming to this stream. We will be streaming on Friday, I believe. This will be like, you know, some kind of like Hoyoverse thingy. I don't know what I want to do. I have like the weeklies in currency wars that I need to do. We might do like some ZZZ. I don't know. Some years ago, you made hot dog for the first time and you almost died of deliciousness. I mean, Korean dishes, you have like so much to eat. You have like so much to eat that, you know, when people think about this nowadays, they all think about like, I don't know, buldak and Korean barbecue, but you have like so much more than that. And like genuinely, if you're cooking, never watch like shorts. Watch like full length videos from like people that come from those cultures and just have fun because you will discover like so much and so many like interesting dishes that are not in your radar as like a foreigner, let's say. And that's how like you will grow as a person in the kitchen. Okay, so thank you very much for coming to this stream. I think we have been yapping quite a lot and on a large range of topics, and it was fun for me. I hope it was fun for you. Take care of yourself, and I will see you Friday for, you know, more yapping and some gameplay. So bye bye.